So this has come out recently. Britain can and must work with Hawaii. I don't know how to say this. Huawei on 5G, and this appeared in the Telegraph way before it was announced, way before anything was put out, because there was a leak from the cabinet. Oh, you can fuck off. I'm not paying for the rest of the article. Now, there's two things going on here. The first is I don't like Theresa May. I don't like the way she does things. I don't appreciate her politics. I think she's the most pathetic prime minister we've had in living memory. And I remember John Major. But she should be able to sit down with her cabinet and discuss things without it leaking. This is fucking serious. This is. Whoever's done this, honestly, they need to be made an example of. There needs to be certain lines. I want government transparency, of course I do. But you've got, like me and Aidan let you know pretty much everything that we talk about. But we still have private conversations. We might talk about like different ideas for Patreon gifts, different ideas for shows. We don't put all that out there because it would if we're brainstorming, it would damage it. Although we do put quite, actually, if you listen to the podcast, you do hear most of the ideas. It's almost every single one of them. But we don't put absolutely every... There's a line of privacy there. And this applies to any business and government especially. It's disgusting that these leaks... I mean, it's been happening constantly since she came into power. Oh, fuck off, Happy Dog. And this is serious. And again, I always say this, if you can't defend the people you don't like, I've just defended Tommy Robinson, I don't like his politics. If you can't defend the people you don't like, you ain't worth shit, right? And I fucking hate Theresa May. I genuinely hate her. And not in a, oh, fuck the Tories kind of way, because that's just lazy. I hate her in terms of her principles and her politics. She's a pathetic woman, but she should at least have the basic respect that a Prime Minister deserves, man. She can't run the country if this sort of stuff is leaking out. It's insane. But I will also say this. In terms of Huawei, what the fuck are we doing? I know some people have got reservations about 5G and all the rest of it, but let's just take the 5G controversy out of there for a minute, right? We are doing a major infrastructure update in this country. Why the fuck are we going to a Chinese company for that? That's insane to me. I mean, is this? I'm not here like I don't understand this. I pay my taxes, and I want. Why the fuck are my taxes going to another country to upgrade our infrastructure? It's bad enough what we've done with the trains in terms of just selling them off to like all these foreign companies. There's certain things, like I want the trains nationalised or I want them properly privatised, one or the other. This halfway shit is bullshit. But I want them nationalised in the sense of like my taxes go in, my train fare goes in and it goes back in. Why the fuck are we giving a foreign company? I'm sure I mean, don't get me wrong. People are going on about, well, is it safe? They've got, foreign governments have got access. I don't give a fuck about all that. I give a fuck about how many jobs are British people not getting on the back of this, or not even British people. Actually, no, that is the wrong way to put it. How many jobs are people living in this country not getting because of it? Yeah, I don't give a fuck if they're Polish or whatever. If they're here, even if they're fucking Chinese, if they're here and they're working and the taxes are going through and everything. Great. It's all part of the thing. It's an economy, a healthy economy, isn't it? Why the fuck would we put 5G in the hands of a foreign company? What the fuck are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing? We're giving billions to companies that don't even have boats to sort out fucking shipping, and now we're doing this. This is just fucking madness to me. Yeah, and all this stuff like obviously I've fallen on the side of Brexit. I've fallen on the side of leave. Now I voted Remain, but I'll go for Brexit now. But if we do leave, what are we left with? These fucking planks that are handing out major contracts to foreign companies. What the fuck? Don't get me wrong, right? Me as a private individual, if I want to buy a Samsung or I've got a Google Pixel, Google an American company, whatever. But that's my choice as an individual, right? I'm going to go for what's best. But with government, surely there should be a little bit of bias about it. Surely that's my money there. That's your money. Surely the whole point is that there should be a little bit of nationalism in that sense. Why the fuck are you going? Do we have no tech companies here? Last time I checked, we were fucking huge in the tech industry. I just don't get it. It really, really angered me, that. It really angered me. Guys, if you're watching, I've not seen a ding for ages. Click the trigger warning logo and do a subscribe and watch loads of the other videos as well. Hit the bell, hit everything. We go live Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, man. You don't want to miss it, but if you do, we always put up loads of highlights for you because we love you. Just before we move on, Dunk Naylor has said China makes the hardware on the cheap, then the British workers do the install. That's the cost saving for the government. Well, they shouldn't be saving that cost then. They can send missiles to blow up people in other countries when they need to at 25,000 a pop, can't they? Hey, fuck China making the hardware. If you run a private business and you want to get stuff made in China, go for it. Go for it. But our government shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be doing that. We give them taxes on the like, here's the thing, right? Left or right, ultimately, in terms of taxes, whatever, taxation's theft, blah, blah, it's redistribution, whatever you want to label taxes, we all kind of agree that that money should go to supporting society in some way. We all have different ideas about it, but that's kind of a core agreement that we all have as human beings that pay taxes, that, that we should have a well-funded police force that who are interested in taking care of protecting us. Do you know what I mean? That we should have honest court system, with a respect for actual justice and fair trials and all the rest of it. And in terms of infrastructure, we want good schools, we want good hospitals, we want good roads. We all agree on this in some way or another, wherever you are on the political spectrum. Surely sending God knows how much money to China, which we already fucking do. I mean, Jesus Christ. I get delivery from China every week, and you know what? It's amazing. It enriches my life. It does, because it's cheap and the quality's been going up and up and up. I mean, in terms of some of their tech now, they are world leaders. They're not fucking about. But in terms of our taxes, no. Have the fucking balls, Theresa May, to step forward and say, why do we keep sending all these contracts abroad? And this isn't some nationalist, like, British. This is my tax money. Surely. Private business, do whatever the fuck you want. Outsource your call centres to India. Do anything you want. I don't care. You are a private business. You owe me nothing. I owe you nothing in terms of how I choose to spend my money. And I apply this to everything, from my poor ass right up to billionaires. Let's stop lecturing people how they spend their money. But in terms of the fucking government, in terms of our tax money, that should be benefiting our economy directly. If we don't have a factory that can make that shit, open one. Get someone to open one. Fuck that shit.